back. We're here. It's Tuesday night.
Martes.
It's what?
Martes.
It's martes.
Oh, dang.
Check that out. Did you hear me? I just told, hey, that means right there, that's a sign that I'm going to be on a roll tonight. I'm rolling my R's.
What's today?
Today's martes, my friend.
Oh, dang.
I know. That's good. It's good. I can't help it. I am 51%. Well, Espanol, my friend. 51%. 49% is my father. 51% is my mother. So tonight I'm throwing full credit at Mom, who's somewhere right now down near Lackland Air Force Base on the far west side. Mom, I love you, but I'm being honest. Gracias, Mom. How do you say I love you?
Te quiero.
Oh yes, te quiero to mi mamá.
Mi madre.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. That was kind of Italian, I think. I went a little Italian.
Madre.
But hey, look, you see, here we go. I asked Saulo to join us and get back up here with me because it's been a while, and I can tell you already right now, this is off the rails. Like we're 1 minute into it, and we're already going to have too good a time. So, before we get started on anything, let's make sure everybody knows I've got Saulo Rodriguez here with me tonight. This is my man, my friend right here. Our wives are particularly best friends. I mean, I think we're like 25 years or something, and we're podcast buddies, home buddies, and we like to eat at various restaurants and cause as much trouble as we can politically.
If you have a suggestion where to eat,
we would let us know.
Let us know.
We'll go food taste it for you. All you got to do is let us know. But as always, we're live streaming. Saulo's up on the show with me tonight. Charlie's on the tech, and Adam is behind the computer over there, behind the camera. Tyler is out tonight, so we're thinking about you, Tyler. He's taking care of his family. Family first, number one. Tyler, we love you, so we're keeping an eye out and a prayer for you. Hope everything's getting better and well. And we are live streaming YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Like it, share it, push it out there. We've got an interesting show tonight. It's a bit educational, so we're going to talk about a few things that are happening in the city, but I'm going to dig a little deeper into them. We've got the fun stuff up front, so we've got... I was making a joke before we started the show that we shouldn't talk too much before we start the podcast. So if you ever want to do a podcast, this is a rule of thumb. Don't talk to anybody before the podcast starts.
Why?
Because you ruin all your jokes, man.
Like, you use them and it loses the strength.
Yeah, everybody's in here. We're all bullshitting. We're all talking to each other. And we're going back and forth, and we're all having a good old time, and we're laughing, and we're telling jokes, we're talking about what's coming up, and then when the show starts, you've used all your good material. Like, it's not as funny as it was when you're just, sitting there talking. So podcast rule 101 is don't talk about the good stuff until the show actually starts. But nonetheless, we'll go and we'll continue to make it up because we're extemporaneous speakers, and we enjoy having a good old time at the expense of the San Antonio City Council, I'm not going to lie, and politicians across the country. We love them, and we're having a good old time. So tonight, don't forget, like it, share it, push it on, start a watch party. We've got to grow this. I say this at the beginning of every show. No matter where you are politically or what you believe, no matter the issue, the number one thing you can do is get the facts and information and then make your decision. And sometimes the people who are giving you the facts or information may be right, they may be wrong, may be opinion, it doesn't make any difference. But the more you push it out, the more information you get, the more educated voter you become, the more educated citizen, right? And if you don't vote, you may realize what you're learning is going to drive you to the ballot box so you can make some decisions. I got to tell you, San Antonio City Council's out of control. They're doing things that are not reflective of this community. We're going to talk about a couple of them tonight. But if you don't get engaged, you really are helping people get elected. And people don't understand that when I say that, Saulo, but your lack of a vote is electing people in San Antonio. So you're
not doing something is doing something.
Yeah, not doing anything and letting 12% or 15% choose the whole election for you. Congratulations, your apathy has helped someone get elected. So I always come back and say, you elect people more with your apathy, right? The voter block, 850,000 registered voters in San Antonio, whatever the number is this year. Those people who don't vote, that apathy elects people more than their action, right?
Yeah.
So those that are out there acting on it, the 15% that are voting, are making the choices for all of us. And it could be eye-opening because what you get is the train wreck right now. That is City Hall. That's off the rails. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to talk about it tonight and dig into it just a little bit. Probably a little more information than you used to, but I want to give you some good facts and information this evening. As always, we do want to start off. I got to thank a couple buddies who are always helping us out. Louis Garcia and the family over at AAA Garcia Bell Bond. And dig into
I love this guy.
A little more information
dude's
than you
amazing,
used to, but I want to
he
give
loves
you
to
some
give
good facts
discounts on his
and
bonds when you go in there and say
As
broadcast.
always, we do
No,
want
I
to
don't
start
know
off.
if
I got
that's
to
true or not.
thank
I
my
totally make
couple
that up.
buddies who are always
Louis,
helping us out.
will take care of you if you are in a
Louis
situation where
Garcia
you potentially
and the family
could
over at
be spending
AAA
time
Garcia Bell Bond. And dig into
I
it
love
a little
this
bit.
guy down in Bear County.
Now, don't forget, there's
he loves
two
to
ways to get out of Bear County jail. One is just show up at the jail and they accidentally let you out. I had to. I'm sorry.
Politically paid by.
Yeah,
That's like a political
that was paid by
somebody.
That was paid by an opponent of the current sheriff. That sponsorship, no. Or you use AAA Garcia bail bonds, and he'll get you out there like a jiffy, and he'll take care of you and make sure. Now, you will have to show up, or he'll send Dog the Bounty Hunter after you. That's no joke. I don't know if it's really Dog the Bounty Hunter. How do you say dog in Spanish? Perro the Bounty Hunter.
Wow.
May come after you. Or he may not, but nonetheless, Louis will track you down. But look, he's a good dude. The family takes care of you. Thank you to AAA Garcia Bail Bonds. We appreciate you helping us out. Be on the lookout. I just talked to Louis tonight. He wants to sponsor and work with me on a dinner show.
Oh,
so
wow.
we're going to do something at a restaurant. We're trying to pick a place right now in the next few weeks, and then we'll do the show live, and we'll talk about things in front of people. We'll invite everybody, and anybody who wants to show up, we'll advertise that here in the next few days.
And one of the things we wanted to do, we wanted to take the show on the road. And I was asking you, and I would ask somebody today, what district do you live in? They didn't know. And I'm like, who's in charge in your district? She doesn't know. Like, what does a councilman do? And they don't know. So something we want to do is take the show on the road, pick a restaurant in the district, and then bring people in and just ask them questions. Because I think a big percentage doesn't know.
No, it's not just the big percentage, it's like the majority. I think most people don't know who their council member is, and that's not a shame. I mean, it is.
Where do you
what it
live,
is.
Adam? Do you know where you live? What zone? District? 10?
District 10. You know who your councilman is? Oh, give that man. What do
really?
I got nothing to give you. I got a half-used
Yeah,
smart water
yeah.
bottle. I mean, but
Well, hey, let's ask. Let's ask that question tonight. What district do you live in, and do you know your councilman?
you know your councilman.
Do you know your councilman right now? Just put it in the comments. I live in this district, and this is my councilwoman.
Yeah.
Or woman,
Chances
man,
are
whatever.
you don't know unless you've actually caused, the council person has caused some trouble for
Yeah.
you. Oh, man, my wife just logged on.
Oh,
time
my
to behave. Time to behave and look like we're
having.
studious just in case Edith
Hey, let me
is
ask you a
watching
question.
home.
Let me ask you a question. So, when you were councilman, District 6, right? What type of citizens did you like, or you're grateful for?
Oh man, I loved them all because even the citizens that would come to me with problems and totally rip into me, even though they had no idea who I was or what a council person did, like even those folks that would come and really give you a bunch of grief, it's awesome because you do have a chance to prove them wrong.
Gotcha.
Because people always come to you, I think in politics, they always come to you with already this predisposed notion. It's predetermined that you're already useless.
Yeah.
People who don't trust any politician.
You're a politician,
right?
you're
I don't trust
corrupt.
you, whatever.
You're corrupt. Yeah.
So I decided when I got elected, I was going to go overboard and spend all my time out in the neighborhoods I could. So I literally, like 90% of my time, I was out in the field with the residents and the neighbors, right? That's where I spent all my time. Most of my colleagues spend it all downtown at City Hall because they like being council members and being elected. And I really could give a damn less. I prefer, in fact, I would go to meetings wearing my fishing shirt and softball shorts or whatever I had, right? It didn't bother me. The faster I could get out of downtown in that fake bubble, that fish bowl of City Hall, the faster I could get out of that and back to where the real work was, which was in the neighborhoods, is what I did. So I loved them. I actually loved them all, man. A couple residents stand out in your mind as absolute. You could never make them happy, but that's okay. I mean,
How can a person, a citizen from your district, from that district, help a councilman out? Says, you know what?
The number one thing you can do for a councilman is just email them issues. Like call them in, send them into 311, and call and
What's
let them
311?
know.
What's-
311 is the city's, like, you have 911 for emergency services. 311 is the city's short code phone number. And you can call in on everything from trash to dead animal in the road. I mean, you name it. You can call in any complaint or question into 311.
Did you know that, Adam?
And they will route you. They will route you to the appropriate department or give you the right advice and open up a case number for you so they can track you. The city has a whole department that handles that. So 311 is an excellent tool. But council members also like just to know, right? Like they want to know where the issues are. So send it into the team or staff. I mean, it really is. It makes a big difference because
What can you do in your district that's different than what you can do in regards to the city?
Oh, you mean? Oh, well, look. The average, this is an interesting point. The average council district in the nation, I think, floats around, of the biggest cities, of the top 25, 40, 50 cities, floats around 65 to 70,000 people per council member. San Antonio has 150,000 people per council member. So as a council member in San Antonio, you represent more larger than any city lower than 150. You represent more people than them.
My goodness.
So San Antonio City Council members have about double the volume. In reality, we probably need another 2 or 3 council members
just to balance
it out because it's next to impossible. That's why I say if neighborhood associations are helpful, they're huge in helping council members. Wow. So if you get involved with a neighborhood association and then the neighborhood association tells the council member what's most important, that's the best, because otherwise you're going to get a council member making decisions for you, and I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to be the right choice for your neighborhood.
How could a church help a councilman? A church within that district.
Churches are one of the most untapped resources, and I was having this conversation with Pastor Fleming. We met with him last week at Life Restore Church when we helped him with the homeless and went down there and did a show down there. Churches perform those duties that ain't nobody else wants to do, man.
Yeah.
The homeless community. We're talking about mental health counseling, those types of things for the homeless. They're out there feeding, food pantries, the faith-based aspects of worship and redemption, all those things. I think, to me, and look, I'm a Catholic and I consider my faith very dear to me. So I think a lot of our problems can be solved with partnerships with the church and faith and back to those basic roots of what built the country. I believe that. Like, I believe faith is the answer to most problems in your life. But it's not for everybody. I get that. But I think the faith community is one of the most untapped resources. And you can use them in real base human need items.
The church is supposed to be the biggest community service organization.
They're
supposed
to be. And I know
they are supposed to be.
And you know what? I've had just as much luck working with the Latter-day Saints, who are phenomenal help and support and activists, and they give a ton of money to Haven for Hope and other organizations. Great success with the Catholic Church. I attended different types of mosques in the Islam. You name it. Baptist, Lutheran. I've encountered them all, and every church organization wants to help. I've never, the Jewish community, I've never encountered one faith organization
that said no.
Thank you. Yeah, never, ever. So, man, it's good stuff.
Cool.
But put us in the notes where you're at. Let us know in the comments what district you're in. You got a question about who your council member is or what I think about them? Feel free to ask. I'm on a roll tonight. I had a cup of coffee before
I was thinking about it today. When you think of San Antonio, what do you think of? Like things that typical, you're like, I think of San Antonio, I think of the Alamo,
the Spurs,
the Spurs, or a particular
tower.
Place. Okay, so District 6. When you think of District 6, what is something that you remember? A place, a restaurant?
Well, people always think of SeaWorld, right? SeaWorld's in District 6.
Okay. Because that was
151. The Pope was out there several years ago, like 25, 30 years ago. Pope came to San Antonio. So District 6 is that area. The food bank is a big anchor tenant.
Oh, wow.
A lot of businesses out there. That area is that's the booming area of San Antonio. It's the fastest growing area in San Antonio. So, you think about those areas.
I was thinking about how would we...
The Southwest Texas Research Monkeys.
What is that?
There's that Southwest Research Institute out there.
That's
the
true.
monkey testing facility.
Some people like it, some people don't.
Some people like it. Some people think it's mean to do that to the monkeys.
I'm calling Peter.
Anyway.
So I was thinking about each district. What would be an example of that district, or if we were going to go on tour, something like that.
Restaurants. We need to up our restaurant game in District 6.
True.
So I'm going to bring that one up. But let's get into a couple of our videos up front here because I want to talk about Connect SA. Tonight, I do want to get into a conversation about. The broadcast has always been about ideas and sometimes calling things on the carpet. Tonight we're going to call on the carpet Connect SA. And I think the community needs to rise up against this. And that's what I hope to push over the next few weeks and get more active in really exposing what City Hall is trying to do here and the billions of dollars of spending. Folks, if we don't get engaged in this, you're already taxed out of your homes and your life. But it's going to get worse. And tonight I'm putting out a call and I'm letting people know that if you want to join and you want to be part of this, you're going to see more of me talking about what needs to change. Connect SA is at the top of that list because it's the last possible straw. We're going to talk about that tonight, what that breakout looks like, and the billions that are going to be wasted, and how Ron Nirenberg is fleecing the city right now when it comes to your taxes that are going to have to be raised to pay for these billions of dollars of programs. I got some proof sources on it tonight. We're going to talk about it. But before we get into all those things, we got some fun videos. All right, now. Okay, look. We've got to show Connect SA. Bye-bye.
Bye, Connect SA.
Okay, all right, here you go.
Thank you, Charlie.
So we got to show this Eric Swalwell video. Now,
I thought it was fake.
Is
it real?
Everybody knows what happened with Eric Swalwell. Does anybody know this?
Cameraman.
Yeah, Eric Swalwell had a personal accident. Play the video, dude. I can't even describe it.
Just in case you didn't know, here we go.
He popped a
full screen, Charlie. Give me full screen.
This is all over the news, by the way.
Full screen and full video.
Full screen, full video.
Are you ready? Now you tell me when. There we go.
Taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help them cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from Republicans, taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help them cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard
The
from
thing is that there's this pause. He took a pause.
Now, I'm sorry I had to do that. I haven't had this much fun on this type of topic, well, since I think middle school. Well, when I was in the military, it was a lot of fun too.
Farting games.
So
Crazy
it's
back then.
fart gates, what they're calling it. Now, look, folks, America. First of all, I believe that Americans, Adam and I were talking about this, Americans are absolutely the funniest people on the planet.
Yeah.
Like America, people are funny. But this one issue with Eric Swalwell has united the country. I mean, dude, we're in the middle of impeachment hearings.
A fart has united the country.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
We're in the
That's
middle.
a shirt. Let the fart
And
unite.
I can't stop laughing about this. The country's in the middle of impeachment, trying to chunk out a president.
Yeah.
And
He's
Eric
trying to be
Swalwell.
serious. He's
Eric
trying to be
Swalwell's trying to be serious. I don't know. We got a proof source here in a second, and we're gonna play. We're gonna play part 2 of that.
Oh, that's true.
But he was in the impeachment hearings today. He did this accidental air biscuit, and he caught himself on camera. Now, normally people are like, "Oh man, that's not a good subject," but this has brought the unity to our country at a
Because
time.
people want to laugh.
At a time when Adam Schiff is trying to destroy our country, he brings unity to it. A Democrat has unified our country.
Maybe it's a theme. Adam Schiff.
It's a Schiff show.
Yeah.
A Schiff show.
You got to say in Spanish that Mr. Swalwell is puro pedo. That guy's puro pedo. Like, literally.
You see what I mean? He's back. We can't even get through the show now.
He's puro pedo.
So the energy's high. The energy's
Yeah.
high. Now, check this out. Check this out.
Hashtag puro pedo.
People are funny. They're hilarious, right? So somebody found the videographic evidence of what happened here. Now he's denying it.
Because you got to test it.
He's denying it.
Is it
You've
fake
got to
news?
test it.
Yeah.
Everything you have to put a test to is this fake news.
Yeah. So they
Play
the test.
the infrared.
Oh, here we go.
taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help them cheat an election.
Oh, yeah.
And the complaint that I've heard from taxpayer dollars to
Really?
ask
Let it
the
run one
Ukrainians
more
to help them cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from taxpayer dollars
One
to
more time,
ask the
Charlie. One more
Ukrainians
time,
to help
just
them
'cause we
cheat
need to test it.
an
This
election
show
dollars
has
to ask
gone
the
off
Ukrainians
the
to help them
rails.
cheat
One more time.
an
Infrared
election.
evidence.
And the
There it
complaint
is.
that I've heard from
Eric
taxpayer dollars to
Swalwell.
ask the
You did it.
It's not he's not feeling so well. He's not feeling so well.
Eric Swalwell, we love you.
Hashtag puro pedo.
Welcome to finally, there is photographic evidence that there are real men in Congress.
You know what's hard about I think everybody wants to laugh. I think laughing brings us together.
Oh my God, totally.
But you know what I like? When people make fun of something that I like and it makes me laugh.
Yeah, like this is
This is somebody that I don't care for. But there's some people that when it gets too good, that the joke is good, you're like roasting. Have you ever been a part of a roast?
Yeah. I've been roasted in the military before. It's embarrassing and it's absolutely terrible, and it's totally fun. And this guy's getting roasted.
Tell me a roast that they said about you. A joke they said that you're like.
Oh my! Well, I used to have a fear of heights. I still do, kind of. But when I was in the military,
I have a fear of widths, but
I couldn't get on an airplane, and I was in the Air Force. So you can imagine the string of jokes.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was all kinds of jokes. It took me basic training was terrible for me, only because I got ripped all the time, and then just being in the military period, the brotherhood, it's all about it's all about knocking your buddy. But now he deserves to be roasted. He's taking it well. And we're thankful for him because he's unifying the country. Eric Swalwell.
Thank you.
We love you.
Thank you.
All right, I said that. Former presidential candidate, first
Thank you
out.
for serving.
Eric, that is not a salute. You just insulted
No, like
millions
this. It's pedo.
That's
it's
not a salute.
pedo.
Okay,
I'm not saying
this isn't a salute. All right, I don't know what you're doing, but that was woo.
pedo.
All right, now. I want to show my son's meme too. He worked on this one. Can you put this one up? My son's meme. No. You're
This
getting the
one?
wrong one.
Hold on. This one?
It's the little boy.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on.
This one.
This one.
This one.
This is my son's brilliant meme right here. He wanted me to show it tonight. And it says, let me guess. This is Cowboys. No, it's not this one. Oh, he took this one too. This is the Cowboys year. Play this other one right over here.
Oh, this one's another one.
Yeah, he did another one. This
Oh.
one's good. This is my son's meme. Can't vote until I'm 18. As if adults are doing a good job.
What? He did it?
He did that, yeah.
Wow.
My son Luke did that meme.
Luke, mememaker.com.
And he sent it to me after a broadcast one time and says, can't vote until I'm 18, as if adults are doing a good job. Ouch. My son called it out. Thank you, Luke. It's 8:30. It's almost time for you to go to bed. He's training tonight to be an altar server 1, so he's moving up in the altar server world. Dang. I know. And can we put up the Papa's Burgers one real quick? I got to shout this guy out. Papa's Burgers, I need you to go to Ken's 5. Papa's Burger is in the final number here versus, I think it's Chester's or some crazy burger place begins with CH. Papa's Burgers on Old Highway 90. I'm not lying to you. It's the greatest burger. Yes. And if anybody ever wants to go to Papa's Burgers, I will take you. We can go have a good time there. Send me a direct message. I'll take you to Papa's Burgers and buy you a burger. This is the best burger in San Antonio.
Can we do the show next week there?
We could do this. Man, we should do the show at Papa's Burgers.
We should go there next week. Do it live from...
All right, man. We'll have to ask Robert Walker. He's the owner of Papa's Burgers. He's about to win this championship. He needs your vote. Ken's 5. Burger bracket, put in there, vote for Papa's Burgers, push this everywhere. This guy's burger's the number 4 burger in the nation. I don't know how they rated that, but it is. And his burger's the best in San Antonio, and we got to get out there and support him. He's if you live in District 6, you need to go to this man's vote right now. He's a District 6 small business. He is the man. He's a big supporter of us and always taking care of me and my family. But yeah, if you want to hang out at Papa's Burgers, come on out. In fact, awesome. we will do the show at Papa's Burgers, and you can come enjoy it after he wins the championship. All right, here we go.
Even if he doesn't,
we'll go there anyway. Yeah. We'll have a second place party, right? First, what does Ricky Bobby call second place? First loser.
Dang.
Ooh, dang. Adam hit that one down the head. Let's get into some business, though, all right? Real quick before we hop into some holiday family needs and some other stuff, I do want to make a quick comment on the impeachment today because we talked about Swalwell and how he lightened the entire impeachment mode. The country needed Eric Swalwell today. He stepped up or stepped in it or on it today. He took care of business and made the country happy, but impeachment is going down. And today you had that Lieutenant Colonel Vindman up there, Mike Pence's former chief of staff, people testifying all day today, and this thing is getting out of control. And I still don't know if this is part of the president's master plan, right? Like he's reeling these Democrats in.
Do you still feel it sometimes that he's playing?
Yeah, I still feel sometimes like he's playing them, like he's going to come out on top because I don't really see these impeachment hearings going anywhere. I just don't see it, and I think the more they talk about it, it's looking worse and worse.
And the people are getting tired of it.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely thrilled. I think as a messaging guy, I wouldn't think that from a political perspective that the president's team is handling it as great as they could.
Yeah.
But you never know. I mean, there's multiple people out there talking about it. Some people you don't want. Like, you don't want Rudy Giuliani out there talking about it. That guy's hacked up everything. But it's so hilarious today, and Adam and I were talking about this. Like, nobody talks about this whistleblower. Like, everybody says, don't mention the whistleblower, but nobody knows who the whistleblower is. This guy's like the Fight Club of Washington, D.C. politics right now, right?
Yeah.
You don't talk about the whistleblower. And so all day I'm watching this stuff because I watch it, which is ridiculous, but I'm watching it. And nobody knows who this cat is. Well, Facebook does, but he keeps getting banned.
Yeah.
Do
you remember the name?
No, I'm not allowed to say the name.
Yeah, because they'll stop this.
Because they'll stop my show.
Yeah, people don't know that. If we say the whistle guy's name, even the word, Facebook will detect it and knock you out.
His name, I don't even think anybody can say.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Who knows? You gotta be very careful. Don't say his name.
Man, he's more protected than God.
But
you can't take his name in vain.
Yeah, you can't. He's absolutely. So impeachment's on a roll right now.
Yeah.
I think it's looking good for the president,
Yeah.
and that's just a political read. It's not either way, a Republican or Democrat. I just don't see the Democrats really making much of a dent into it. And then what you see with the Democratic presidential candidates, they're kind of off of it right now.
Yeah.
And you got Pete Buttigieg. He's leading in Iowa. You got Joe Biden in trouble. Elizabeth Warren's getting beat up right now. Kamala Harris is falling off the map. Our friend Joaquin Castro. Julian. I'm sorry, I get mediocrity confused when it comes times two. So Julian didn't make the debate stage in that campaign.
But he's continuing. That's what they
He's
said.
continuing on with no hope.
Not on the debate, but he says that his voice is necessary.
His voice is necessary. I don't know for what.
Wow.
But people are hoping he gets, he can make it onto the vice presidential ticket or get another cabinet position or something along that lines. But look, the whole Democratic thing right now. You got Michael Bloomberg thinking about coming in. Deval Patrick, former governor of Massachusetts, coming in. I think the thing's just off the rails for the Democrats. And
How's Tulsi doing?
Who?
Tulsi.
Tulsi, yeah, she made the debate stage.
She did?
Yeah, she did. And Julian didn't. But Tulsi Gabbard's something else, man. She lights people up.
Yeah.
Man, she takes people apart. I really like her. She's got a massive skill set, man. She's not going to make it, but she's got some nerve. But the thing about the Democrats in impeachment, the Democratic presidential primary, Buttigieg climbing, Bernie Sanders, all these people, right? Warren in trouble. Some spots she's in trouble, but they don't have anything really clear for anybody right now. And the president's just clearly attacking everyone, right? At this point, he's on everybody. But the Democrats aren't really offering anything of substance that's really getting dug in. I think impeachment's dragging them down. So we're going to keep a good eye on that one. We'll probably do a show on it after it's all done, because it's hilarious, and hopefully more people will be causing problems after the fact. My wife is out there. All right, who we got here? All right, let's see. All right. Okay, real quick, I want to make sure we also tag on holiday family needs. Part of what we need to do a show when we go do it at, with our friend with Louis Garcia, we go do it at Papa's Burgers out there with Robert Walker, is let us know if there's any families in need this holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
I'm blessed with a lot of connections in my time on the city council and the relationships we've built. And the next show, we need to do it for something or for someone. I had a talk today with a friend of mine from Miracle Mattress. He owns the Miracle Mattress Company. He wants to help families with mattresses and other food items this year, so we're going to partner with him. And I needed to talk to you about that. I kind of dropped that one on you out of nowhere. But we also need to bring, I want to do the next few shows in support of something. Yeah. And so we'll keep an eye out for that as well. And then one final question. We got to figure out the right time for the show. And I'm going to put out a poll in the next couple of weeks. Do we do it at 8 o'clock or 8:30 or 9 o'clock? So what's best and how does that work? So stay on the lookout for that as well. But the holiday family needs, let's direct message me, anybody you know, a family that needs Christmas presents, that needs a Thanksgiving dinner next week, mattresses. You'd be surprised the condition of I was talking to my buddy Mike, who runs and owns Miracle Mattress. You'd be surprised how people are sleeping. I mean, they're sleeping in bathtubs with blankets in our cities. So he wants to help families. So reach out, let us know. We'd love to make the show more about that, so stay in tune for that. So now let's get into it on Connect SA. Well, man, we're halfway done with the show, and you and I are already bullshitted our way, and now we got to cram through the lesson here. All right, Connect SA. It's been in the news. Connect SA is the mayor's transportation vision for the future. So over the years, we've had SA 2020, Mission Verde, the Decade of Downtown. I can't even remember the last one. They come up with a name for every program, right? It's a catch name or a slogan. The Climate Action and Adaptation Plan, the Mayor's Housing Policy Task Force. All these things are basically ways to rally people, right? They create these programs to rally people to spend money at the government level. Connect SA is the most recent one and by far going to be the most expensive. And tonight I wanted to talk to you about why it's an absolutely horrible idea and why I'll go door to door if necessary to make sure people know to vote this down. We cannot. Enough is enough at City Hall with the taxation, with the massive government spending programs and the billions of dollars. These 3-4 programs, even if you did one of them, it'd be fine. But when you lump them all together, and then you've got SAWS rates going up, CPS rates potentially going up on your energy, you've got taxes going up for Connect SA, you've got billions of dollars in the Climate Action Plan, which nobody will talk about how much it costs now. And then you've got the Housing Policy Task Force at $100 million a year for the next 10 years. This thing is out of control, and it's a city council and a mayor that is writing checks out of your bank account. That's the truth. He's writing checks on your bank account. So one of them would be fine. But when you lump them all together, program that and then you got SAWS rates going up, CPS rates, it's potentially going up on your end. Right? That is the one that we need to stand up on and say enough's enough. So let's bring up some of them slides here. What do we got? The first one, bring up that one right there. So here's just some notes. I want to run through this to make sure everybody understands how this works and why it's bad for the city. So Nirenberg urges shifting of sales tax from the aquifer protection to faster bus service. Faster bus service is Connect SA. And he wants to shift the sales tax dollars that we are currently using for aquifer and linear parks protections and building to the bus service, to Connect SA, that program. It's an 1/8 of a cent sales tax. Bring up that one chart. Let's see. Bring up that one right there. Put that one up right there. This is the mayor's 3 major programs, and they're pricing in billions. And this should scare you immediately. The mayor's housing task force, that program is a $2 billion spend over the next 5 to 10 years. $2 billion. It's already funded, approved, and paid for already. So they've got $100 million going into this. Remember, not even 2 years ago, Ron Nirenberg was saying there was no money to pay police officers or firefighters. City's broke. But miraculously, the city came up with his housing task force. It's the mayor's baby, his initial baby he brought out of right out of the chute when he got elected. It's a $2 billion program. And then just last month, they passed the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. Now, the ridiculousness of that is that originally the Climate Action Adaptation Plan had dollar values assigned to it between $2 and $3 billion worth of government spending. Now, the government gets its money from you. We all know that, right? So this isn't money that they just print and come out of thin air. It's your tax dollars. That's the only way this government operates. So now the second iteration that they voted on and passed had no value assigned to it, no dollars. But we know that the program is $2 to $3 billion for Ron Nirenberg's Green New Deal, the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. Connect SA is going to cost upwards of $5 billion for a grand total of Ron Nirenberg spending at $10 billion. It's going to be somewhere between $8 to $10 billion over the next 10 years. Ron Nirenberg can't even serve that long as mayor. Hopefully he won't serve past the next term, but his programs and his spending could last for the next 10 years at $10 billion. And the local government only has so much money. Some of this is state, some of this is federal, but at the end of the day, it's your tax dollars, right? But it's $10 billion. That's how much is getting spent out of City Hall. Has to stop. Connect SA is our last chance to put that foot in that door and stop it. Now go to the sales tax slide, that one right there. This is a good one. So I put this together so you'd understand how the sales tax actually works. Now don't fall asleep on me, people. I promise you, this is boring, but super important. The city sales tax is at 8.25 cents. It's mandated. It's capped. It can go no higher. San Antonio is at a max allowable sales tax. Now, 6.25% of that sales tax goes to the state of Texas. All right, pretty straightforward, 6.25 cents automatically straight off the top. The city of San Antonio already gets 1 cent. That MTA is the transit authority. It gets a half a cent. The Advanced Transportation District gets a 0.25. And then you'll see pre-K for SA at 2%, but really it's 1/8 of a cent, rounded up. And Creeks at 1%. Creeks, that 1% right there is 1/8 of a cent, 0.125. 1/8 of a cent goes to Edwards Aquifer Protection and Linear Creeks, greenways. Now the problem with that is the administration of some of these programs by Sarah and other authorities, Ron Nirenberg wants that Creeks money. He wants to take it and put it into transportation. But this is what he's not telling you. That money has to get made up somewhere else. Never mind, no, don't forget. Those programs, Aquifer Protection and Linear Creeks, are overwhelmingly voted and supported by the citizens of San Antonio, Salo, all day long. These things pass with 60, 70% support in the city. The community does not want to lose the Aquifer Protection nor the creek programs. And Ron Nirenberg knows that. So this is what he wants to do. He wants to kick Sarah and the San Antonio River Authority and that creek spending out to your real estate taxes. Your real estate taxes are going to go up while he takes that 1 cent, that 1/8 of a cent, and spends it on transportation. It is a tax increase, period, folks, because he wants that money. So Ron Nirenberg and that city council, and by the way, Connect SA is led by Henry Cisneros, Jane Macon, former city attorney, and Hope Andrade, the former chairperson of VIA. Those are the 3 tri-chairs for Connect SA. They want that sales tax money, but they're not willing to give it back to you, the citizen. They want to spend it in here. And then they want Sarah, and this is all in the paper today too, by the way, they want Sarah to go raise your real estate taxes significantly. That, my friends, if you're a resident, a citizen, you're a taxpayer, which is every stinking one of us, that is a net gain. It is more taxes and it's on you. So we have to get smart about this. This is bait and switch by Ron Nirenberg. He can sit there and say, I'm only reallocating the Creeks dollars. You're not spending any more in the sales tax than you already are. That's an easy talking point. That works. And for most people, they're going to follow that. They're going to be like, well, yeah, you're right. We're already maxed out. We're spending it. But what he's not telling you is he's going to force the tax increase out of your real estate on the other side. Stay awake on what matters on this. Now, look at some facts on Connect SA. Put the one up with the bus one right there. Here's some Connect SA. So they said better bus service, right? Here's how better bus service works. Via additional funding. By the way, VIA receives now an additional $10 million a year from the city, voted on by the city council. I supported that. I think VIA is the answer to our transit issues. But I'm telling you right now, you drive around the city, how often do you see buses that are not full? I mean,
Yep.
all the time.
Yep.
Right? So yes, we invested $10 million and the routes got quicker and other things happened. As you can see, ridership has increased in 30% or better of these routes. The city is already investing an additional $10 million a year. That should continue on. But Ron Nirenberg and Henry Cisneros and that team, they want your money. They want your sales tax dollars to build more into the better bus system, which people don't disagree with, but then you start talking about light rail, streets and sidewalks, bike lanes. All these things are going to wrap up into this $5 billion plan. Put up new revenue sources. This is an interesting little peek into the thinking of Connect SA. So new revenue sources, a gas tax, increase or index state motor fuels tax, last raised in 1991 to 20 cents per gallon, generates more than $3 billion. This is right out of, here, I'm going to show this right here. This is Henry Cisneros' presentation, right there, Connect SA. You can find this. You can go to connectsa.com. You can go to their fancy website, and you can see Henry's presentation that he gives to business leaders and people in the know, they've rolled this out to the community. You can see it, and if you can't sleep at night, this will help you fall asleep. This is insomnia reading material, right? So,
It's therapy.
you can go look at it straight out of their presentation, but back to the new revenue sources. Folks, this is where they're going to get some money. Gas tax increases, land use related policies and fees to generate revenue for mobility projects. Now, what in the world does that mean? Land use policies and fees. The key word is fees, right? They're going to come in and fee other development sources to create more revenue for this program. Now, pull up the one on the bonds, too. This is, right, here's the other scary part. General obligation bonds. Ron Nirenberg needs to take Connect SA to the voters to change the sales tax and to take down more debt. Change sales tax, take down more debt. Future City of San Antonio bonds and future Bexar County bonds should set aside funding for Connect SA projects. Okay, they want to take the majority of these. Last bond was, I don't know, what, $850 million, $750 million before that. They want 3/4 of that for Connect SA. Millions upon millions of dollars. Bexar County had a last bond for the health system at $900 million. They want to bond it out and spend more money. They want to take down more debt to put you and your family into trouble on this one. I did some math on this. If you add all this spending, this $10 billion worth of spending, it equals $6,667 for every man, woman, and child in San Antonio. What? Every man, woman, and child. All of us. $6,667 worth of Ron Nirenberg spending. $10 billion worth of programs. And I don't give a damn if it's local money, state money, or federal money. It's still your taxes.
They're responsible.
And they'll say, well, our portion from the city is only this. No. The citizen cares about all of it. So the general obligation bond is huge. And then this is how they operate and think. And City Hall is trying to change the way you live. This is a perfect example about sustainable options. So part of their Green New Deal, Ron's Green New Deal and Ana Sandoval, is they want you out of your car. They don't want you owning vehicles. They want the roads to shrink. They want more bike lanes, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but they want more bike lanes, more pedestrian stuff. And they're trying to get further away from the car. So they tell people stuff like this. Look at this. 60 people on public transport. Look at how many square footage. This is how they hook people with their community change initiatives, right? They're trying to re-engineer our community. Look at 60 people on bikes. Okay, that's interesting. And then look, they trash the 60 people in their cars, taking up almost 12,000 square feet. That is how they start to denigrate, push down automobiles. Don't forget how San Antonio runs and operates and how people want to move. They want vehicles. They want to drive. They want their pickup trucks. If eventually they become more cost effective and electric, hey, more power to us. Fantastic. But for right now, people want this. They want to. Who wants to drive around on a bicycle up and down 1604?
Nope.
Am I going to ride a bike from SeaWorld to the Alamo? I'm not going to do any of it. No, by the way, every council member drives a car. I mean, one or two of them ride a bike to work, but none of them are practicing what they preach. Absolutely none of them. But this is the drive, folks. All these programs are to socially re-engineer our community, and to do it, because they're doing it on the national level too. And here's the fact, and thank you, I think that's our last slide on Connect SA. Here's what's the scary part about Connect SA. It has to stop somewhere. Like it can't just, you just can't continue to spend the taxpayer dollar, whether it's through bonds, additional taxes like taking your sales tax. I do believe the Edwards Aquifer Authority and the Creek programs deserve funding. He won't touch Pre-K for SA. Pre-K for SA gets $40 million a year. $40 million, and another eighth of a cent on that sales tax chart goes to Pre-K for SA. He won't touch that. No way. That's Julian Castro's baby. He's not going to touch he's not going to touch it. Sacred. So if he doesn't go there and make any changes there, he's got to go to Creeks and Edwards Aquifer and kick him out. So he needs the money. So we have to stop him. Not just because it's the sales tax piece, but because it's too much at this point. And these are the things I said during my campaign that mattered. I mean, when I was campaigning, I said, this is a $10 billion man. And if we don't slow this down, we're all going to pay. So Connect SA, I believe, has to be the stake in the ground now. Enough is enough. How do we stop it? Do we need answers to our transportation program? Yes. Is VIA the answer? I believe so. In cooperation with the Advanced Transportation District, the Alamo Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, the MPO, there are already 3 to 4 major organizations that handle transportation in San Antonio. Ron's created this entirely new one that, frankly, most people don't even know what the hell they do. Connect SA is a joke. It has no accomplishments right now. It's another bureaucracy built up so that someone can spend hundreds of millions of dollars on things that don't make sense to the majority of the citizens of San Antonio. We need to focus on the things like congestion and wait times. We need to build more capacity, more streets, and we need to understand that cars are the future until cars price themselves back into affordability from an electric use piece. These things are just, the City Hall is out of control. So expect that this will be the issue that we go after. And I think we got to take the fight to the community. And they got to understand these basic facts. Tonight I wanted to just talk about what the sales tax meant, for Pete's sakes. People don't even know that. Yeah. You just go into Valero and you buy your cup of coffee and you get charged your 8 1/4 sale. You don't know where that money's going. Yeah. So hopefully tonight, even though it probably puts you to sleep, thank God we started with Eric Swalwell.
A strategy.
But if you don't know that that's how that's the bulk of the sales tax. If you don't know that, it's easy for Ron to come in and take a piece out and tell you, I ain't charging you anymore. But over here, don't pay attention. Watch the shiny object over here. But over here, I'm going to charge you more. It's called a bait and switch, right? That's what that is. It's moving the little pea under the shell around the table until you can't figure out where your dollar's going anymore. Now's the time we step up on this and we make a stand. Connect SA has to go down because it doesn't make any sense. It's not right for the community. We couldn't get it done on the climate action plan because he has the votes. And frankly, this one, the reason we can fight this one is because it has to go to the voters. And if the voters have to make the decision whether we reallocate, and I do believe that this is the one that we need to stake a claim on and take it to the voters and run an opposition campaign against this.
Who would create an opposition campaign? Who does it?
Oh, I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to. I think we need to step up and put the facts out that this is a tax increase. And unless he cuts it from something currently, look, it's okay to do these programs if you cut something already there that I think is additional funding or dollars. I would wager to take some of it from Pre-K for SA. Reduce Pre-K for SA. The state of Texas last legislative cycle passed additional full-day Pre-K funding for municipalities up to $5 billion. They put a lot. The state of Texas, Governor Abbott's really stepped up to the plate on Pre-K education. There are other dollars available for that, but frankly, I was on the city council. There is fat in the Pre-K for SA budget. They don't need $40 million a year. I'm sorry. I think our teachers and our public school teachers, they're vastly underpaid. My wife's a teacher. It's a very difficult job. The pre-K for SA teachers are well paid. They're damn good people, damn good teachers as well. We don't want teachers to lose their jobs at pre-K for SA, but it is tax money. And we have to start thinking, is that a core function versus Connect SA and transportation? He could take the money from something that's already there that's not needed or less. Or he cuts the budget and figures it out. But see, all these things in conjunction together are what's wrong.
Yeah.
$2 billion housing, $3 to $5 billion on climate action, $5 billion up on transportation. If you do just one of them, I think people could get behind it. But you're doing all of it, right? It's like you've given your credit card to Ron Nirenberg and he's running crazy with it.
Do whatever you want to do.
Doing whatever, right?
Yeah.
And we're not getting the text message that you're maxed out on the credit. But this is the text message. I'm telling the public right now, keep an eye on it. We have to jump on this. We've got more to come on this. Expect us to engage on it and push heavily against Connect SA unless they find a way to fund it with monies that aren't additional revenues. That's where we need to take the stand, people. We're going to see it on a vote or a ballot box next year. Let's make it happen and let's start digging in on that issue. So I'm sorry if I put you to sleep
No, it's sad to say because
with the lesson.
yeah, when it gets too far, that's when people react. But then sometimes it's too late.
Oh,
Sometimes.
man, they don't, nobody will pay attention to it. Just show up on the ballot and then all of a sudden people care.
Yeah.
And it's the last possible minute you got to learn about it. But we have a chance to stop this one dead in its tracks. And I think we have to. The rule of thumb should always be, are you doing everything at City Hall with the money you currently have? If you are, we can figure that out. But if you're raising revenue or taxes to pay for these multi-billion-dollar programs and the public gets a say, I'm willing to bet we can run an opposition campaign and stop them dead in their tracks and force them back into the basics of what city government should be doing, and that's not this.
Lyndon says, get the voters off their colas. That's what Lyndon says. I'm listening, Greg. That's what Dina says.
Dina.
Serrano. Robert says, Castro allowed Scully to milk the taxpayers. Dang, Robert.
Cheryl Scully, yes, milk the taxpayers.
Diana Ibanez says, let's do this. George says, I'm down with you, Greg. Let's do this.
All right.
Tom Coleman, I'm with you. Man.
You see, I'm telling you, man, if the public gets a vote and they find out that these taxes and these increases are coming, they're going to say no. They just don't know how much it is. They don't know how the sales tax work. And they don't dig in enough to see that Ron's only telling them one half of the story.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing new about the sales tax. That's because I'm hosing you over here on real estate.
Yeah.
Right? Sarah, the San Antonio River Authority, is going to screw you over here. But I'm good over here. Don't worry about that. I got you. We're going to dig into it. And look, at the end of the day, let's put the arguments on the table and let's get after it.
And Diana said, it's time to wake all up. And it's true. So when Greg gets online, please help us share this information because it's not just, well, we have fun, but it's not for fun. We want to provoke people to get involved a little bit more than yesterday.
We like to provoke people, period.
Yes. Keep talking, informing the people. Do it. Thank you. And Chris says you should have won. Chris says Ron is evil. Sonia says yes, an opposition campaign.
Keep telling us the truth. Chief McManus plays the political fence. That's true.
Wow.
Look, lots of good comments out here.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to continue to bring the facts because if we don't stand up on this, they're going to lie to you out of City Hall. I guarantee you, it's a lie. It's a lie to say, well, we're just reallocating the taxes. When you leave out the fact that your taxes are getting raised somewhere else. That's wrong. The Connect SA people that are leading that are wrong, and we are going to expose them on it. And if we have to, like I said, go door to door, I think we should. I think we should run an opposition campaign, at least that the citizens have the facts. And I look forward to that one. It's going to be a great one. But this is it, man. I really believe this. Our city is off the rails. I tell this to people all the time. And we used to, we did the Brockton Loaded stuff. I think I just did one for like 5 minutes when I was teaching. But look, it's off the rails. It's billions of dollars of spending. And I'm willing to wager, and I waged it when I went and ran for mayor, and I came out of nowhere, and I got to 49, not quite a win. It still hurts a little bit. It still hurts. But what I learned out there was the people at City Hall don't represent San Antonio.
Yeah.
They represent a very small portion of it that have always had the power. Ron Nirenberg put Henry Cisneros in charge of Connect SA. Is there anybody else in our city that can, no disrespect to Henry. He's a good man, I get it. He's done his thing, he served our country, and I understand, yeah, sure, you can go both sides. Democrat is past history, we all have past, I get it. He served our city, but there needs to come a time now where these things have to change.
Yeah.
And the same people have the power, the same week, the same day, every year. It's the same people. This is this another further extension of that. And I think we can get there. I think we can do it by standing up. So don't forget that. All right, I'm going to stop on that one. And one more point I want to make. San Antonio's Decade of Downtown. Have you ever heard that before?
No.
The Decade of Downtown started 10 years ago. It's wrapping up in 2020. The Decade of Downtown, or SA 2020, was an organization put together, Julian Castro's little baby, to chart the next 10 years of San Antonio's growth. We are coming to the end of it. Everything from where we build, land use patterns, health patterns, you name it. Zoning, everything was in the Decade of Downtown, but it focused in SA 2020, focused more on downtown. This is a very interesting fact that I'm digging more into trying to learn. But as we focused more on downtown and in spending programs like this, San Antonio's population became poorer. San Antonio has the highest rate of poverty of the top 25 cities in this nation. The largest 25 cities, San Antonio has the highest poverty rate. Wow. Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that as the city got more progressive, as the city focused more on downtown, as Broadway got hundreds of millions of dollars, as the Pearl blew up, as Dignity Hills disappeared, as the East Side is falling apart from gentrification, right? Is it a coincidence that as all those hundreds of millions of dollars were going to the players at the Pearl and the downtown, that the rest of San Antonio became the poorest it's ever been? Is that a coincidence?
Worth looking into.
It is not. It is not. The Decade of Downtown and all those things that Julian Castro did benefited a very select portion of this town. And San Antonio as a whole has the highest poverty rate in the nation. This $10 billion is misallocated and it's wrong, and we're going to get after it. Let's get on to, actually we've got to wrap up here, but I want to talk about what's on deck next week at City Hall too. Can we put the on deck sign up?
On deck, Charlie.
So some keynotes that are happening this week. This morning, the City of San Antonio, Alamo Citizens Advisory Committee did meet this morning to talk about the Alamo changes, and the design team was introduced. So you should see that in the paper tomorrow, some updates on what's happening with the Alamo. We know it's a $450 million investment. We know that redesign is coming. I tend to believe, and I was in support of it, but I learned a lot from the opposition groups when it came to the cenotaph and the movement of that cenotaph. And those issues are going to start getting litigated and talked about now at the city. So we have to pay attention. I think the number one most important things about this is open access of the space, and it remains a free space. And the kind of the marker, the heartbeat of the city is that Alamo area. It was a tough vote for me back in a couple years ago now, but it's now phase one. The launch is coming. They met this morning on it. We should see updates on that soon. So keep an eye out for what's happening at the Alamo Advisory, the Citizens Committee, and how that program is going to roll out. I had certain things in my mind when I supported it, but I do have questions about the cenotaph, and I learned a lot about it from people who are Alamo descendants and defenders, descendants, and it's a huge, huge issue for them. And I think we just have to be cognizant of that, the money, where it's going, how it's spent, and that it still reflects San Antonio as open for everybody. And that means fiesta, that means the river parades, that means honoring the space, right? Honoring the defenders, but also the culture and history of that spot. We got to make sure it follows what San Antonio wants. And I've learned that, and I think we have to get better at that. So I plan to talk more about that over the next few weeks as they start this process. Again, the Linear Creeks Park met tonight to figure out how they're going to come up with more money. If Ron kicks them out of the sales tax, they met tonight, so be on the lookout for those results. That is going to come up more and more through the Creeks Parkway projects. Public Safety Committee met tonight as well at John Jay High School to talk about alternative giving methods. You may hear this come up at City Hall. Instead of giving dollars to panhandlers, the city's going to try to regulate or find ways to legislate alternative giving methods. Maybe you find ways to give a homeless person $1 through another organization or something, as opposed to giving them $1 on the street. And then there's a lot of...
How do you feel about that?
Well, I think people should be able to give money whoever they want to give money to. I mean, it's hard to regulate that.
Why would you regulate it? Just to be more responsible or be more intentional? Or
well, when it comes to the homeless person, people are homeless for many reasons. Mental health, drug addiction. And I think people, when you give that buck up, what are you giving that buck up to? Could you alternatively give that dollar to an organization that's going to put it to better use? I'm open to that conversation.
Gotcha,
I
yeah.
think it's a good conversation.
Because sometimes when you give people money, sometimes you're helping them, sometimes you're not helping.
Yeah, sometimes you're enabling some interesting
Got it.
behavior. So we got to keep an eye on that. But alternative giving should ratchet up as well over the next few weeks. Keep an eye out for that. An initiative started by
I see you send an email
Councilman
to people that are
Pilates.
on your database, and you send them on deck at City Hall. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
I send this out to different people who want to know. It's kind of a little blurry, but it ain't going to get any good. I send this out in an email. I'm going to open it up and start sending to anybody who wants it. You can send me an email at thebroadcast210, thebroadcast210 at gmail.com if you want to be a part of this. Every week I send out a flyer about what's happening at the city, at City Council. Some of it's boring, but some of it's exciting. Some of it has, like today with the Alamo stuff's on here. But I always try to keep people informed of what's happening at City Hall. So if you're interested in this,
What's the email?
the Gmail account is thebroadcast210
Cast 210.
at gmail.com.
I'm gonna put it on the thread. So if you want to,
Shoot it out there. If you want that, let me know. I'll sign you up. And you can get the on deck at City Hall, upcoming events and issues at City Council. Okay, so we're done. We got to wrap up because we haven't done memes in a while. I know.
Those are goals.
So look, thank you for tonight. Before I close up, because after we do the last meme, we always shut it down. I'm sorry tonight was more about information, but I feel like you need the facts.
Yes.
While we're going to go out on the street and have fun and talk about these things, I think we do need to talk about the issues and the facts and where we're going to take things. The broadcast just can't be about blasting everything. We have to have some ideas too. So we're going to start building more ideas, but we have to put the information out there. Tonight was more about information, right? So it was a tough discussion, but know that these are the issues. These are what people are voting on at City Hall. If you don't know about the sales tax, and you don't know about Connect SA and these things, you're going to get screwed. I'm telling you right now, they're after your money and you have to stand up with it. And that means listening to the boring stuff. All right. Meme number one, what do we got? If you like subpoena coladas and getting caught in Ukraine. You can't read that meme without singing it.
You feel it. You just feel it.
You feel it, man.
You're like,
let's go one more time. If you like subpoena coladas and getting caught in Ukraine. All right, next.
Poor guy, man.
Poor JB.
He says, okay, hold on. Somebody said that Joe Biden's like a man in the dark with a flashlight with not enough batteries. Like you're in the desert, but
Someone turned the lights out on him and
his batteries are running out. Okay, this one.
This is where you got to shake your flashlight. Witness intimidation is a
The
crime, no
audacity.
matter who does it. Full stop. I don't get this obsession with always saying full stop. I'm pretty sure the period represents the stop, but whatever. But the audacity of hope here, right? Like, she hopes no one will notice the fact that she's intimidated countless Bill Clinton accusers.
How does she feel about all those conspiracy theories that she's the body count?
Oh, God. The Epstein stuff. Hey, by the way, the Epstein guys that were in charge of the jail got arrested today. Jeffrey Epstein's Facebook page. I didn't kill myself.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, now don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Okay, let's Adam. Maybe Adam knows.
Do people get this?
Somebody on comments. Ask in the comments.
Somebody in comments. If you get this, I'm taking you to Papa's Burgers.
Yes.
The first person to put the reference, what this means. What show is this from? My dad did not kill himself. I'm waiting.
And why? And Greg's going to pay.
I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay.
Papa's Burger.
I'm going to take you to Papa's Burgers and I'll buy you if you could tell me the reference to my dad did not kill himself. What show is this, people? Come on.
That's good. It's classic.
It's a classic show. Welcome back.
Graham Landry's connected. Hey, Graham, thank you.
Graham Landry, got it.
Look at this, Ray. Look at Ray.
Sweat hog. Oh, he's got it. Welcome back, Connor.
That was good, Ray.
So,
Henry too.
Hey man, look at okay. You know what? Never mind. I just need to have a giant party at I'm gonna buy all of you.
We're going to be at Papa's Burger
Burgers.
maybe next week, and we'll meet you there. And you guys just revealed how old you are.
Welcome back. All right, next one up. We got to get through.
Sorry. I'm all distracted. I don't know who did this one.
Yes. Took my boys to Hooters and captured this gem. Somebody sent me that one. It was a classic. That actually happens when I take my boys to Hooters.
Oh, yeah. This one.
I had to show this one because it was a blast from the past. This guy's hard, man. This dude's hard. This is in the prison right here. This is a prison tat.
This guy's impressive because he did that. He showed himself changing a tire.
Yes, change his tire. Skateboarding, eating in a Whataburger parking lot.
And then with the dentist.
And then the dentist, and of course here he's getting a tat of the infamous DJT.
And you almost.
We haven't had a chance to show these since he dropped out.
I know.
I love that commercial.
A man was stabbed to death at Popeyes.
After what appears to be an argument over a re-released Popeye's chicken sandwich. This thing is still going on, man. Really?
That almost happened to me with a McRib. I did not know where he stopped. There's no more rib anymore.
Oh yeah, man. They go in cycles, bro.
But it was like
somebody tried to stab you over it.
No.
Oh.
For a McRib.
You're leading me on. Right? You're leading me on. Give me some more. We got some more. We got to get through a couple. I owe these to the world. Ah, yes. This was at Target the other day. Epstein didn't kill himself.
The patience.
The patience to do that. But you know what's cool about it? You can get away with that at Target because there's hardly any employees ever working there, right?
That is so true.
Target's the one place you go to, no one's ever manning the check stands.
And it's beautiful because he says, didn't kill himself.
Himself. Didn't kill himself.
Yeah, but himself, but it's an elf at the end. It's Chris.
Elf.
Oh, anyway.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right, there we go.
Dr. Lecter, please tell me what happened to Jeff Epstein. Clarice, even I don't screw with Hillary.
Poor guy.
And my fava beans.
This one I heard it from Greg.
Trump is 73 and he doesn't wear glasses because he's got 20/20.
Wow.
It's the articles of impeachment. I found this today. Impeaching Donald J. Trump because for the following crimes and misdemeanors, we didn't win in 2016. We can't win in 2020. That's a funny one. I love those articles of impeachment.
Hey, just in case you need more proof.
Taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help them cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help them.
Look, the broadcast needs your help. I need to know. Do we do this 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock?
Good question.
We're going to take it on the road. We got to grow this thing. We went a little earlier. So now I've done about half the shows at 8 and the other half at 9. Got to get the right time. Right day of the week, make these things happen, and always come and have the conversations. Be prepared for more information and fights as we move along. We've got to take it off the stage here into action, out into the community. We've got to build it, put information out there. Share this with whoever you can. Stay tuned for what's coming next. What's coming next is more uncovering garbage at City Hall. The city of San Antonio is out of control. And I'll close with this one more time. If we don't fix it and we don't change it, the billions are adding up. It's your money. It's your tax dollars. If you want to spend it, that's fine. But I think you deserve a voice and a choice. Ooh, I just made a rhyme right there. Good. You deserve a voice and a choice. To get there, you have to know the facts and understand what's happening. Let's get in it together. Let's not let our city become San Francisco, Austin, or Seattle. That's what happens when we elect people who aren't from here, that don't get us. And frankly, we need to figure that out. We need to get it right and stop the craziness. To make it happen is to do what's right by the citizens, the everyday citizens of San Antonio. It's no mistake that Ron Nirenberg's been mayor now almost 3 years, and San Antonio has grown into the highest poverty rate city in the nation. That's not a coincidence. That's bad leadership. It's spending money in programs and billions and hundreds of millions of dollars into the wrong programs. If we don't fix it now, we're in trouble. I need you to stay tuned. Get involved. Let's make it happen. We are always thankful you come here. Salo, I appreciate you. Adam, thank you. Charlie, we appreciate you. The broadcast, 210@gmail.com. If you want some information, let me know. We are out.
Adios.